We have circa 400 advisors in the group, and they operate out of 5 key divisions. Lighthouse Financial Advice is a division with 140 advisors in it, and it is focused primarily on the affinity connections that we have. We would say with some credibility that we are the largest provider of advice to affinity groups in the UK, having 21 contracted relationships, and we have a division specifically set up to service those clients. The second division is really what we call our wealth segment, and 2 businesses reside within that. Both Lighthouse Carwood, which services the 45 accountancy connections that we have, and Lighthouse Wealth, which are entrepreneurial based advisors primarily based around the City of London and the M25 corridor. We have our traditional business, a network business, where firms come to us, take our regulatory authority, and we provide regulatory services to them, and that's called LASER, Lighthouse Advisory Services, and co-joining that is Lighthouse Mortgage Protection Solutions, which is a division set up primarily to deal with the demand that we see for mortgage advice and allied protection services. And that is in a divisional structure, each component led by its own individual managing director. The 21 affinity groups that we have, we built up over the last 10 years to the credible number that we have today. And they are primarily anchored around the provision of financial advice to trades unions members and other allied large employer groupings. The 21 affinity groups that we have represent approximately 75% of the total membership of the Trades Union Congress. So within that membership are the main unions, Unite and Unison, along with many of the educational unions and health professionals, with quite a significant proportion of the UK's senior civil service being part of that membership. We undertake with those unions to provide a service that evolves around us meeting approximately 15,000 of these individuals each and every year on an asked basis by the unions for a requirement. And those requirements may be retirement advice, it could be inheritance tax planning, it could be mid-career financial planning. Whatever the request is, we aim to respond to those requests. The industry itself presents a tremendous amount of opportunity for financial advisors, following primarily George Osborne's budget of a few years ago, when he allowed people to have more flexibility with their pension arrangements. This in turn has seen a really quite significant demand for financial advice at a time when financial advisors themselves have retracted in numbers to approximately 25,000 UK-based advisors who are now very professionally qualified and have to account every year for professional qualifications and CPD requirements, continuous professional development requirements. And therefore their services are very much in demand. So you've got the good instance of a lot of demand out there for professional financial advice with a limited amount of supply. So if you're a financial advisor, professionally qualified, today is a good day to be one. The challenges are clear. UK is leaving the European Union. There's all sorts of regulatory change that occurs. We've seen only this year MiFID II, which is a big regulatory change for the marketplace, closely followed by the GDPR requirements, and this train of regulation keeps coming. So I think the big challenge for any professional financial advisor who is busy is also to keep up to speed with all the regulatory changes that occur each and every year. Well, we've concentrated over the last few years in building up our infrastructure enabled to support a growing presence within the affinity marketplace. The 21 affinity groups we have now keep us very busy. We organise over 1,000 events per year. These are events in people's places of work, either being seminars where we talk to groups of people, or in fact surgeries where we see people on a one-to-one basis. Now, as I said, last year we saw 15,000 people. That led to about 5,000 of those becoming clients of the group. Now, the overall population of our affinity groups, i.e. those subscribing members, is in excess of 6 million people. So if those taps really got turned on, we'd become extremely busy, and our challenge, which is a nice one to have, is to continue to meet the demand that's coming at us for the services that we provide. So our concentration of effort over the next period is certainly to ensure that our infrastructure and our ability keeps pace with the demand for our services.